Yes, everybody, we are back. Welcome to Athletic Club York. Today, we are starting Season 10. We are in League 1. We have a new start time of Tuesdays at 4:45. That is down to the new series that is starting on the channel this Sunday, Newell's Old Boys. So make sure you have subscribed so you know when that video drops. But also at the same time, we're doing a Tuesday upload so I can live stream this. I live streamed the Season 9 finale on Saturday night and we managed to win the League 2 title, back-to-back promotions, so we are now in League 1. I thought the whole world of transfers would open up to us, and unfortunately that's not the case. It's going to be a tough season. We're predicted to finish bottom. We've made 3 signings. We've got no natural strikers. Alright guys, welcome to Athletic Club York. As I said, we finished the season 98 points. We should have really hit that 100 point mark, but we had a little bit of a blip. We managed to see off a semi-run from Swindon, a good win away from home, beating them towards the end of the season, set us up nicely. Only 60 defeats. My main concern going into the new season is we only scored 82 goals, which you would class as alright, but it's not even 2 goals a game, and I think for a title-winning team that is not enough. Our defence was good, so the main focus of the whole transfer window has been, can we sign a striker? Number 1 target was a transfer listed Thiago Green, and he chose to go. We offered 50 grand more. We offered 3,500 a week compared to the 2,700, and he chose Swindon, the team that finished second. So we're going to be coming up against him for the first time. I'm really disappointed that I think, do you know what it is? We're not even a favoured personnel. I think it's because a lot of the time during our stint in sort of like the Vanarama National League, them last 2 years, he was desperate to go and we held on to him for as long as we possibly could. And I think that's potentially given us a little bit of a fractious relationship. His favourite personnel is my under-22, under-23s manager, who obviously brought him through our sort of like his academy years. But really annoyed that we couldn't. I wish I would have maybe just strengthened and really gone for it and offered him like £4,500 a week or something like that. Note to self, because it has been slim pickings, I really thought moving up into League 1 we would have a plethora of new players and options, and it's not been the case. So transfers are looking pretty bloody depressing. We spent 95k. We've let Steve Sewell go out on loan, sort of like a backup centre-half. Never featured for the first team. I've let Kieran Phillips go just because he was unhappy that he was transfer listed. I didn't want him to feature, even though he's a striker. I'm clearing room now to one of these other potential youngsters in Daniel Brooks, potentially coming through. At the time, we're going to change tactics a little bit today, but at the time we were only going 1 up front anyway, so I didn't think he was going to play. I've let him go. Sutton are paying. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's got there for the season. They're paying half of his wages. I just wanted him kind of out of the club, even though he's an absolute club legend. Most appearances and most goals ever. And then players released. Max Clark was the backup left back who came in towards the end of the season. Harrison Holgate had a couple of decent stints with us, but because of the options we now have with Cross, McCarthy and Sharp, never got a game for us really in the League 2 last season. And Paul Elliott, Patreon on the channel, has left, but he has found a nice little pickup at Carlisle, so he's still in the game. Paul, don't worry, still potential 4-star. I just don't see where I could have really fit you in on a regular basis. It was time, I think, for you to spread your wings and go try something else. All right, those are the kind of the outs. Obviously, we've lost Cole and Morrison, players that we had on loan last year. They've not come back. I offered 1 for Cole, especially when we've now gone to a 3 at the back. However, he said bloody no. So, the business that we have done, we've brought in Josh Stevenson. We had to pay $52,000, but this was a compensation fee. He's 23 years old. He's a 3-star midfielder, born in Harrogate, so obviously very close. Played for the under-18s as well for England, and has done okay. Harrogate got relegated, which made the deal a little bit easier. Not great on his technicals, but he is 6'4", great stamina, work rate. He's going to be a good box-to-box. He'll also, even though he says he can't, he'll be able to sit in as a half-back if needed. Ryan Whitley is a current York City goalkeeper in real life. He ended up leaving York, by the way, York, who I have given some more money to. Remember, they're a sugar daddy. We changed that setting in the editor. I've actually given them 100 million to spend, and we will be coming up against them again this season. He started his career at York, went on a free to Wickham, ended up at Reading, hasn't really played much. He's just our backup goalkeeper. We lost two goalkeepers this summer, backup goalkeepers, but I just wanted to bring someone in. We've got a youngster that I wanted to keep in the under-23s to get some game time, so we've just brought Ryan in just to be our backup. That costs us 2,300. And then probably the brightest spark is a player called Dominic Sturgis. He's got some nice physicals. He can't really cross. He's got 14 pace though, can play out left. Now we've changed to wing backs. He's going to have to play a little bit of wing back, but he can come on this left-hand side. A really nice backup for Hume. What we struggled was last year, just enough options. I think if we end up going, if I just show you the tactic quickly, this is our tactic that we're playing at the moment. However, if we go back to our standard total non-league tactic that I've sort of like had and tweaked, he'll be able to do this left-hand side a lot. But at the moment, and for today, we are going with this. Now, it is the same principles in the team instructions. What I'm hoping is that it just gives a little bit solid defensively, making sure obviously we've made that step up without being able to recruit any players to really challenge these starting spots. And then what I have done is I just thought Joe Staker is not quite good enough as a striker by himself. So the flip side of that was, if you've not got one good striker, let's put 2 average strikers up there. And as you can see, if we go to the squad look, we've not actually got best role, no one's best role as a centre forward. However, these two have combined really well in pre-season. Dodd, with his finishing of 3, has got 7 in 4, and Staker himself has got 5 in 4. We've had a really good pre-season. Birkenhead, Dundee, FC United and South Shields. I think the thing is now that we're scoring plenty of goals. The roles it affects a little bit is the 2 wide areas. Obviously, Hume will go in there as the left wing back. Let me just change this around because it's all changed. The thing that he's probably done is Hume on this left-hand side is naturally a winger. He can do it. He can do it. He's not very good tackling. It's all about him going forward, but he'll start there. He'll definitely get some crosses in front too. Alex Sharp and McCarthy as well, 2 players that were playing inverted wing backs, left-footed. Alex Sharp is probably the more talented going forward, so he's going to play on that right-hand side. And McCarthy gets a regular spot now at centre-half. We can soon change back to either one, not a problem. Mudrinski's still there, Hackney and Bridge. And as I said, Staker and Dodd up front, working together. We are predicted to get relegated. We are predicted to finish 23rd in a league that has got some big clubs, obviously. No other bigger than York, but Sheffield Wednesday, QPR in there. Hull, Coventry, Bolton are still kicking around there. AFC Wimbledon for us today. AFC Wimbledon, who have got as far as the championship, so they are one of the bigger boys this year. I imagine they're going to be trying to push for a promotion place, a playoff place. The board want us, I think it's just to fight bravely against relegation. So at least I know if we get sacked, very unlikely unless we have a horrendous record-breaking season in terms of defeats. I should be okay. I think the plan for this season is survive, 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 and then build these next few years, League 1, League 2, try and reach the promised land are definitely going to be the toughest of the journey. We've brought some youngsters in as well. Niall Sargent is a left-back who has come through the youth system. He's going to be our first choice left-back if we go to a back four. We've also got Callum Vincent, who is a defensive midfielder, 6'6". I've been training him since as a box-to-box midfielder just to get his all-round game up. He's improving nicely at the age of 18. And the other one is Daniel Brooks, a Welsh striker who has, well, a Welsh winger who we're trying to train as a striker, 6'2". Teamwork, it looks like he might be able to work as a pressing forward up there. And we've brought him into the squad just mainly because we haven't got another option. There's nothing out there that's going to improve this starting 11. No one who wants to sign for us anyway. So I've decided to really just go with Staker and Dodd playing with the players. You know, we could have gone and got loads of players in around League 2 level that are around 30 years old. I've decided to not do it. I've decided to stick to what we should do and try and give players like Brooks the opportunity. Joe Staker, who's come through the youth system, give them the opportunity to play for the club. All right. Let's get into today's game. Right, so there we are. The 3-5-2. I am hoping at some point we can bring a striker in. There's a couple of players sort of like in and around the Premier League level that are in Premier League clubs. Leeds United have got a couple of strikers. They're just not interested. Sheffield United have still got that striker we tried to sign last year. Has no interest, even though he's available for loan and they're only in the Championship. He has no interest in even joining us on loan. Which is a bit disappointing because he would have probably propelled us way up the league because he's absolutely outstanding. Okay, so I'm quite relaxed about this season in terms of, fingers crossed, we have enough to stay up. We've got the other tactic to flip around with if we get injuries in the striker in positions in particular, because we've only got 2 really players that are good enough to play strikers. We can soon switch to the 4-3-3 that we've had for years and play with either a Dodd or a Staker up front. I'm really disappointed about Thiago Green. It would have been perfect to bring him home just to give us a little bit of a boost. this season, but it wasn't to be. I've lesson learned. We could have overspent. I could have probably offered him away more. But I thought the offer that I gave him, to be fair, 3.5 grand compared to 2,700. He wanted 2,500. I thought that was going to be enough, and it turned out not to be the case. Now, what I am going to do is we're just going to keep a little eye on... They've scored. That's a terrible bit of goalkeeping. We're 1-0 down. Keeping an eye on our possession stats because we still want to dominate the ball as much as we can. I think we've dominated the ball in these first 15 minutes. We have 70% possession. They've scored with their first effort on goal. Not the start we want to said. These will probably be one of the better sides this season. But we need to win as many home games as we possibly can. Right, Dempsey. Mohammed. Barker's White. We're going to win that. We don't. Long ball. Over the bar. We've got 3 centre-halves back there. So we should be able to deal with that a little bit better. What I am actually going to do is... I keep forgetting. I do keep forgetting. Opposition instructions. When they play with just one up. Trigger press. Mark tighter. And weaker foot. Just so we get someone just to follow him and not allow him to have space. And fingers crossed with that, we'll just isolate him a little bit more. Right. Hackney. Bridge. Dodd. Sharp. Bridge has signed a new dealer, by the way, which is good. An effort. Half a chance. Are we going to carry on? I think we are, you know. Denton. Hume. Dodd, he's in. He's in. It's an equaliser. There is Hume getting down that left-hand side. We used him as an inverted winger last year, but he's actually playing. He's actually all left foot. So he's kept his width there as a complete wing-back. Lovely little knocking by Denton, by the way. He is left-footed, Denton, the centre-half. So that's going to help us with a little bit of balance. And it just slides it across for Dodd at the far post. It is 1-1. We're up and running. Let's give it a praise. Let me know your predictions for the season. That would be good. Where do you think we're going to finish? I'm going to say bottom half. But it'd be nice if you out there, you're a little bit more confident. More confident than me, right? They've got a corner. We've cleared. Are we breaking it? Get there, we do. Dodd, he has a little bit of pace. What is his pace? 12. Okay. Maybe a little bit. We'll call it a little bit. Right, Hume. I think Staker's the one, actually, that has a little bit more pace. Denton. Hull. Denton. We may just try and find somebody who can run. Like a striker who's maybe a bit of a poacher. Staker strikes, he's hit the bar. Just maybe a striker who can play a little bit in terms of decent finishing, decent composure, and maybe 15, 16 pace, something like that. That would be ideal, just to help us out a little bit. There is Oakley Cannonier, the youngster from Liverpool who we sold years ago because he wanted too much money, and he keeps scoring goals in League Two. So I'm half fancying putting a bid in for him. It will cost probably up to like 100 plus thousand, but it may just give us an extra option up there. My only worry with that is that he's probably League One, as Dodd is in. Dodd scores, 3 finishing. Who would have thought it? Oakley Cannonier is probably League One at most in terms of quality, but we might just need it. Having said that, Dodd has just scored 2 wonderful goals. What a wonderful finish that is. Let's give it a little cheeky praise. And I think what this tactic potentially also does is it gives us a bit of better foundation if we go back to a cautious mentality towards the end. We lower the tempo. We've got 3 at the back. We've got 2 players up front who can hold the ball up. Dodd nearly scored a hat-trick. He hit it onto the bar, the header. This is wonderful football. So right now, what we are going to do is we're going to drop it. We're going to take off, be more expressive. We're on slightly slower tempo anyway, which will help. Just helping us knock and probably keep the ball. As Mudrinsky makes a really good tackle. This is a really good start to the season, boys. Definitely pushing down the left more. On this right-hand side, it'll be interesting to see how Alex Sharp does because he's all left foot and we're asking him to play as a... I didn't want to play him as an inverted wing-back because then we would have absolutely no width on this right-hand side. I think he can still keep the width and then cut in on his left foot to put a cross in, just like they've done. And they've scored. Jack Radoni has made it 2-2. After all that, we maybe should have just gone with it, shouldn't we? So we'll go back up to attacking. We've perhaps invited a little bit of pressure. Mudrinsky's struggling. Let's make a little choice. Let's put Delhi Johnson on. Hackney's struggling as well. So let's go Jack Stevenson and Alex Sharp. We'll do a triple. Let's bring on Shaquan Cross. Plenty of action. We've had 17. We've only had 5 on target, though. We've created 2 really good chances, I suppose. But we maybe need to create a little bit more. Maybe not got that individual quality up there to score absolute belters. Right, Denton, Johnson, Hull. Hull is now the captain because Phillips has moved on as well. ever present at centre-half. They've gone long. We should get that. We'd win the header, but they've picked up the spares. Are they going to break our hearts at the start of the season? We should win that, boys. We haven't. Rodoni has caused us all sorts of problems today. They've put it in. It's 3-2. We've not been able to deal with anything aerially back there today. How big is this Jack Rodoni? 6'2". He's caused all sorts of problems for us. We have not got a player of that quality. Oh, boys, we were talking it up, weren't we? I always speak too soon. Ryan Edmondson, York City. Former York City. Is that Ryan Edmondson? It is. So they're the sorts of players we need to be looking at. Scout player, because he is... How was he born in York? Born in Harrogate. Obviously came through the York Youth System. Just signed for Left Leeds and signed for Carlisle in real life. But you never know. You never know. Players like that, if they're not playing regularly at AFC Wimbledon, we may get the opportunity to get on loan. We have started with a defeat. XG of 1.72 to 2.37. We've dominated the ball. We maybe should have just kept going, kept pushing. They've played. Look how narrow they were there. Look how narrow they were. Jesus. They've stole one from us there. Lesson learnt. But I'm kind of happy. I think Dodd and Staker are going to cause a few problems this year. They've got the attitude. They've got the work rate. I think we're maybe just lacking a little bit of quality. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, 4:45 on the channel. This is the new start time for Athletic Club York. There will be live streams on Saturday. Make sure you subscribe so you know when I go live. Hit that notification bell because I sometimes may just decide to click live when I've got a little bit of free time. Antonio Conte video coming on Thursday. All about Romelu Lukaku and his 3-5-2 that won the Scudetto in 2021. And Sunday is the start of Newell's Old Boys. Looking forward to that, so make sure you've all subscribed to the channel. That would be wonderful. All right, have a good week. Take care. See you later.